What's up, guys? It's EcBoy from TeamCalamity. This is the first video for a while. I apologize for that. I've had a lot of things at the moment. I've had exams and whatnot, but those finished, so I should have more free time to do some videos now. So should be able to get more content. This video is just me wanting to discuss what happened at Euros 2013. I didn't go. Basically, like I have not been able to go to any tournaments this year, pretty much. And the one that I did go to, I narrowly missed out on qualification. Like, it was literally, you needed to be in top 18 to qualify, and I was like top 19 or some stupidity like that. So yeah, I really wanted to go, but unfortunately I couldn't. So yeah, but a lot of my friends went, and I heard everything that happened. Unfortunately, they didn't do too well, but I mean, a lot of things pretty much went as expected. I mean, spellbooks and dragons were clearly the two standout decks. I mean, you did see some Constellars and Mamels and stuff like that, but really, I mean, it was just dragons and prophecies for the most part, which is how this format would seem to be, really. But yeah, I mean, really, what I want to talk about is not what actually went down at Euros in terms of decks that were played and all of that, but what happened in terms of the controversy, that being with Simon, he getting disqualified for cheating. Now, I don't know the guy personally, so honestly, like, when I heard, I didn't really care at first. I mean, UK, I'm from UK, but UK hasn't exactly got the best reputation when it comes to their pros, if you can call someone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Yeah, the reputation of the pros of this game. I mean, a lot of people in the UK cheat. So when I heard that this guy cheated, I wasn't exactly shocked. I mean, this tends to happen a lot. But what got me interested was firstly how he cheated and just everything around that. For those of you that don't know, basically how he has been deemed to have been cheating was when he played his opponents, he would mark their sleeves, and then that way when he power shuffled, like, he would know obviously what card it is that he's stacking because the sleeves are marked. And the opponent that called him out on it was his top 32 opponent, Rocco Tambellini. And I haven't got good enough video editing software to incorporate the video into this video, but like, you have it here. You probably can't see it quite as well here, but if you can see there, the bottom corners are quite clearly tampered with. They're all bent. This guy plays Prophecy, and then he reveals what those cards were, and obviously it's the worst hand in the world. I mean, you have two Masters, Fate, Eternity, Tower, and Life. That is just an impossibly bad hand. So, that was the particular incident that he got disqualified for. But other people also gave accounts of him being Simon, like, taking time to read over people's cards that people should know. I mean, if you're a player of his presumed caliber, you should know what stuff like Spellbook of Fate and the Grand Spellbook Tower says. But, you know, he took his time reading it, and it would seem when he did that, he ended up actually marking the cards physically. And I read another example on Duelist Grounds where another member posted his story on the forum, and he basically said that he lost game one to he, and then game two, like, he did his uh, power shuffling pattern or whatever, and afterwards, after like he lost and he didn't complain or anything, but then afterwards he looked at his sleeves and he saw that there were bends on the sleeves, and then those particular cards ended up being those, which of course are all the spell books that you really don't want to open with. The ones that are kind of shadowed out here are Fate, Life, Master, Star Hall, Tower, amongst two Crescents, Eternity, another Fate, and a Power. So again, obviously, I mean, the first time it could have just been a coincidence, even though that's a very odd coincidence. I don't know why Rocco, whatever his name is, would risk. I mean, because if your sleeves are stacked, it doesn't make it look like your opponent is stacking you. Really, it makes it look like you're stacking. So I don't know why they would stack bad cards to their hand just to pull something like that, pull in, oh, my opponent was cheating me or whatever. And it's a bit too odd to be coincidence. I mean, not only were all the bad cards really to have in that opening hand marked, they ended up in the opening hand. I mean, that alone is almost incriminating enough. And then with this other anecdote as well, on top of the fact that, of course, Simon, he went undefeated that day. Sorry, those past 2 days. Like, he didn't lose a single game. Single match, I mean. I don't know if he lost a single game, but he didn't lose a single match. So, that's just, that would all indicate that he has, in fact, cheated. And for me, it's just kind of, I think it's a shame because, obviously, it is Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not, like, something major, so I don't see why he would cheat, but this guy did have fans. He did have people who appreciated his tops, so this all kind of tarnishes that. I mean, in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's always sketchy when someone is really particularly consistent because this is a game where it's like anything can happen really. You just need luck on your side and skill. Don't get me wrong, you need skill in tandem with luck in order to overcome whatever's against you in a tournament to get the tops. And I mean, skill alone isn't enough really. Like, you need that luck factor as well. So the fact that he took a break from the game and then came back and just topped tournament after tournament, YCS after YCS, and not even necessarily with the best decks, I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen every build that he's topped every YCS with, but I mean, I didn't particularly like the agent build. I thought that was the inferior version at the time, and I'm pretty sure that was the only variant of that build that topped. Like, you didn't see another he agent top after that. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. That's just me speculating, but I'm pretty sure that was how it went down. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty disappointing. And then after that, I mean, he obviously got DQ'd from top 32 and lost out on all his prizes, which is, you know, huge. But also, he faces further punishment, so that's probably 2 years at least. And he got terminated, obviously, from United Gosus. Now, United Gosus is a team slash organization. I mean, it's kind of both. It's a team that functions as an organization, led by Claudio Kutchmer, who is Austrian, I believe, an Austrian player, and they're just a team effectively that just goes to European tournaments and all that stuff. And just kind of has some elite players in their team, likes of Rodrigo Tagores and Stefan Luis, Michel Gruner, I believe. Um, and I mean, Claudio is a player who I admire a lot. I met him a couple of times, and considering that, I mean, I'm I'm pretty good, but I'm not someone who goes to tournaments a lot, like big level tournaments a lot, because of logistical issues a lot of the time. So to see someone who is more experienced in that regard than me, I obviously respect that a lot. So he is a player who I in many ways respect a lot. And he runs United Ghostus, and he said that they got rid of Simon He because he cheated essentially, like, and they don't want cheaters on their team. Um, and I mean, I'm on Duelist Grounds, so I read the discussions there, and it kind of just went down like, well, then there are other players on United Ghostus who have cheated, such as Tagores. Uh, so then, what about them? And he just said like no one on the roster has cheated since EC 2010, uh, and after that, they've kind of drawn a line under that. Um, but I mean, Michel Gruner came second at the European Championships, and again, he was a player that I haven't met, but I admired somewhat, because he seems to be good. Obviously, all these players are still good at the game, regardless of the fact that they cheat. And he's European, so as a European, I rate that. But I mean, this is another video that people just dug up, and it quite clearly shows him doing something odd with the deck stacking. So I'll just show this quick clip. So here you have Gruner, and here's someone else. This was like round 3 of YCS Sheffield. So yeah, just quite clearly there you saw that he had his deck, presumably both of them had shuffled or whatever, and Gruner just kind of shuffled his deck a little bit and then felt it a couple of times, and he didn't look at the bottom card, but he just put it to the top of his deck, and he was like, oh no, this is the best card in the game or whatever, and then he drew his hand, and it was clearly Rabbit because he summoned the back card in his hand, which was the first card that he drew. So, I mean, that's clearly stacking in some way. I mean, like, you you can try and give the benefit of the doubt. Like, sometimes I do weird stuff like that, but I mean, I don't I don't see how he could do that without knowing it, especially since he said, "Oh, this is the best card in the game," and then it turns out to be Rabbit. I mean, that's just a bit too much. And you might say, why did you do that? But it was game 3, like YCS Sheffield. So, and clearly he was playing someone who's like inexperienced. I mean, later on the guy misplays a bit as well. So, yeah, but that just it begs the question, like, are there any top level players that don't cheat, just in the sense of like, in order to have consistency in a game like this, do you need to? And I mean, I don't know the American game well enough, but I'm pretty sure that, like Jeff Jones and Mike Steinman, people like them, don't cheat. But it would seem that the high level players that don't cheat are actually in the minority, which is a shame. I mean, it's somewhat understandable, but I just think personally that it is pretty sad and low life to cheat at a game like this. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't exactly offer the best price support. I mean, for winning Euros you get like an iPad and a trip to Vegas. While that's pretty cool, that's not like, you know, Pokemon TCG or Magic the Gathering or even beyond that, like poker or something like that. I don't see why you would put in the time and effort to learn to do something like that and then apply it to something like this. I mean, you know, I just think you should do something like this because you enjoy it, and anything else is just a bit dumb. On another note, with the whole bending the sleeve thing, like, I can just imagine someone in the tournament, like, if they're losing or something, they just like check their grave and then bend the sleeve of like three of their bad cards and then just be like, oh look, Judge, he stacked me or whatever. Um, I don't know, that would be pretty difficult to pull off. Um, I don't really see how that could happen, but I mean, um, something like that could happen. You get like the uh, whatever that guy's name is. Well, I can't even remember the name of the guy. Um, but the guy who played someone and cheated by like forgetting to draw a card. Well, sorry, he didn't forget. He forgot to draw a card, and then afterwards was like he went first, obviously, and then he was like, "Yo, you have more cards in your hand than me. Hey, Judge." He cheated, which is funny. I mean, is cheating, but from a neutral standpoint, I just find that hilarious. Um, so yeah, I mean, Simon he's cheated. Oh, and even with Claudio, I saw someone posting a video where someone summoned, like, Claudio was playing Dark Worlds or something. The opponent had Dolka and Claudio had like Rivalry or sorry, Gozen. He had Gozen phase up. And then the opponent summoned Covers and then Claudio put it to the grave, but I mean technically that's cheating, but I don't think that was, you know, like deliberate intentional cheating. I just think it was a ruling mishap. Like, because Rivalry and Gozen are just pretty confusing cards generally. A lot of people might not know that uh, you know, it can't be normal summoned, and everyone else around them didn't really clock onto that either. But I mean, at the same time, like a player of his caliber should know something like that. I mean, I know that you can't summon monster of a different type or attribute under Rivalry or Gozen, respectively. And I'm not, you know, like of his caliber. I'm just a moderately good player. So yeah, you know, all these things. It just depends. Like, you can leave comments or whatever. I don't really know, but I just wanted to convey that to those of you that didn't already know it, and give my opinion to all of you that do. In terms of future videos, I don't know. I'm still playing Vanguard, so I'll probably do something around that. As far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes, I haven't bought anything in a while, so I don't own many new cards or anything. And the season is pretty much over, but I shall see, and hopefully new stuff will be around. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.